Hey, what's up guys, it's Oakley, and we'll be playing with the new Desert Kingdoms for Rome 2. Pretty excited about this. Wasn't super amped for it when I just noticed, oh my god, they're dredging, all the way back to Rome 2. But playing the factions here, they do bring a lot to the table. So here you're going to be seeing a pretty awesome fight between myself and Indypride. I'm going to be fielding the armies of Masaesyli, and then Indy is going to be fielding the armies of Kush. So these factions are really dope. I like what they did with the Desert Kingdoms. Yeah, some of the units are kind of wonky in the sense that you can bring chariots for almost all of them. Some of them do have pikes, which is a little odd, but the units are freaking awesome. So I'll be showing you some of these. The first one is going to be, well, Masaesyli does field a lot of these Numidian troops, so of course I had to bring those. These are going to be your traditional, cavalry that can double both in terms of missile, but then also close the distance and engage pretty well. The general can be one of these units, so really good. So yeah, that's one of the things you'll be seeing me field, Numidian noble cavalry on that flank, more over here, and these guys are excellent, super quick, rapid advance type units that can come in and slaughter enemies, and that's the way they're going towards the armies of Kush. So they're pushing out, so you can see me with some of those riders. I also have some position over here, armored Numidian riders as well. Let's take a look at these guys. So yeah, looking freaking awesome. So a lot of cavalry. Another cool thing that I have deployed kind of along this ridge line here overlooking the rest of my force is going to be some of these desert legionaries or desert cohorts. And so they're dope because they take these Roman units and then they kind of mix and match the shields with different, Carthaginian symbology. And then you have what I call the Ninjaneers, essentially where you have them with the little desert masks on top of them. So they look really freaking cool as units, and they perform just like Roman legions, super cheap as well. So it gives you a lot of sustain as this Masaesyli, sorry. So yeah, I'm able to bring a ton of these infantry to the fight. Lots of these guys, all with precursors, going to be super handy. And yeah, what else do I have? So in the front, I'm skirmishing with some of these light tribesmen units who are pulling up, Numidian spearmen, etc. We already talked about some of the other African units that you can bring. So for instance, African war elephants, I brought 2 of these, no mahouts, they're just going to be barebacking on the necks of those elephants. I do want to show you the army of Kush as I move forward. So Indy has some of the awesome units here, the bowmen, and one of the cool things that you'll notice with my faction is, yep, they can drop in on your forces. And so just as Indy's pulling up here with his guys, he didn't see me deploy right on top of him. So all of a sudden he gets a sense that, oh shit, here come my riders. So here they come out of the blue. They're going to be able to do significant damage on his forces before they turn around, and here come his other troops. But yeah, you can see my elephants in the distance also cresting. So Masaesyli here being very versatile, and that's what you're going to expect from these Desert Kingdoms. A lot of hit and run type tactics. So back to my force, we saw a lot of cavalry, saw some legionnaires, and then in the front lines I do have some of these, light tribesmen, Numidian spearmen, so lots of kind of cheap medium tier troops pushing forward. Slave infantry, tribal slingers, and elephants to back up if anything too scary comes at me from Indy's side, and then of course my general as well, going to be partaking in the early game skirmishing. My main line that we haven't covered just yet is going to be interspersed between some of these Numidian noble infantry, pretty heavy guys that can hold out. I was expecting lots of enemy cav and elephants, and then I also have desert cohorts here again. And these guys are going to be interspersed with some of the Lorica segmentata, Lorica hamara, so I like the patchworkiness of them. But anyways, this is going to be a lot of these troops, big dense formation, and then behind them I do have some of these heavy Numidian skirmishers, so these are going to be great to counter enemy elephants. But anyways, here comes my assault. On all flanks, going to continue to harass Indypride, getting right up into the grill of his Cushite warriors. And we're going to get caught a little bit, but I'm trying to bait Indy out of position. And yeah, this Cushite blob, let's go ahead and talk about what he has deployed in his force. He has a screening force of some of these Cushite archers. Pretty good range on them, pretty good stats as well. They're going to be trading with some of my tribal slingers. So yeah, that's what he has in the front rows. And then kind of backing them up, he has Cushite slave infantry, so starting to tech up a little bit more. Then behind that he has these awesome Shotel warriors. These guys have these wicked curved blades. And then behind them he's going to have some of these, what are these? The disciples of Epidemic. So these guys are worshipping essentially the lion god, and so they all have lion pelts on them. Very, very scary troops in the sense that they actually frighten all units around them. A bit of like berserkers on steroids. Desert version of berserkers, I guess. Yeah, so he has a couple of those. He has armored Shotel forces. He has more of these armored These are actually going to be your leopard spearmen. So he's got a couple of those, and in the back he has his own war elephants. But I am over on all flanks, harassing as is my wont here. And I'm trying to get in at his cavalry because I know, hey, if I can, silence some of his cavalry, that'll allow my infantry to just do their thing in a grind-out fight and not have to worry by, ever any hammer and anvil strikes. And then ultimately, if I can get rid of his cavalry, then I can kite for the rest of the day. Because he does, outrange me when it comes to the bows. I can't bring any bows. All I have is some of that skirmisher cav and then some small slingers, but nothing really tiered up. See, that's why I have my kind of slingers deployed here while the elephants watch, and I'm going to try and exchange with the Cushite forces, but not something that I'm going to be able to do for very long. It looks like my slaves are going to rout. I was get 2v1 by other slaves. But anyways, here he comes with his cavalry. So they're going to come after my slingers. It's a nice little bit of bait, and the elephants are going to charge in. Same thing with my Numidian riders from all flanks. They're going to be circling from above. Actually, it looks like these are Indy's forces, and he spots an opportunity to pounce on my army. Noticing a little bit of a wedge, I'm going to come around back with my elephants. We're going to have some action here. Let's put this on slow motion just to show you what's going on. Basically, on both sides, he comes in with his Cushite Royal Guard. Pretty expensive units, and he knocks out my tribal slingers, which is okay for me. Pretty cheap troops, and it's going to allow me to now isolate with the Numidian cav on multiple sides. But this is pretty bad. If Indy is able to kind of knock out all of my range units and then pull out of this fight, he's in a good position with his archers. What's happening here, though, is these elephants are going to paint a tempting target, and here he comes in with a lot of units to support. So I got a little bit greedy with these elephants, kind of threw them in here to try and save my guys, but now he's going to close in with his infantry. Luckily for me, though, much of his army is still trailing, so you can see them coming up here. Cavalry coming up, and archers are in the way back. He doesn't have much in the way of spearmen. The only one is going to be this single leopard force, and they are trying to chase, but not soon enough. So here come my elephants dispersing a little bit. Some of them are rampaging, which means they're going to be hard to control, or impossible to control, I should say. Oh, there go a couple elephants landing on those men. So I'm starting to lose my elephants. I'm getting a little bit worried here. But luckily, it is just one leopard force. And these guys are going to start to run over a lot of men. 49 here, this one ranking it up. I'm going to try and commit some units here. So I'm going to redeploy with my tribal slingers and come back with my Numidian noble cavalry to fire into that. Because my elephants are maybe foregone at this point, in the sense that I can't control them. But hey, it makes a very big tar pit. So yeah, I'm going to be throwing all kinds of javelins in here. So I really love these Numidian skirmishers. Quick reload, lots of armor piercing, and really good at hitting these blobs. And yeah, actually I'm able to pull through and do tremendous amount of damage. Indy was a little bit overzealous here in terms of trying to get at my guys. And now you can see the only spear force that he has over here are going to be these leopard forces, whereas the rest of the elephants here, 247 already, killing a lot of these guys, not much armor to these Shoto warriors, and so they're doing work here. Let's watch this guy. So yeah, things are going pretty well. I'm going to start to regain control over one of them. 72 on this one, but 270 on the other one. Pretty good. Over here, I am reforming, where Indy was trying to chase me with his cavalry. He did catch some of my guys, but Numidian cav doing pretty good. I mean, trading against Cushite Royal Guard, that's, oh my god, those guys, 219. Pretty impressive, but a lot of that was on my slaves. But yeah, these guys did pretty good. 20 kills, and they're just going to be resting up and waiting to get around the flanks. Meanwhile, I'm just trying to cut up Indy with a couple little hits here and there. My tribal slingers and other units are going to reform. Same thing over here. We're going to surround. I sent in some reinforcements of some more Numidian cavalry, cycling around to this flank. We're going to be here for some close support. And the elephants continuing to harass against these Shoto warriors. Leopard warriors are still in the mix. They're kind of the only ones still alive. But now I can isolate them. Yeah, this is pretty epic. And this is exactly, like I said, what the Numidians were known for. Riding strong with Hannibal himself, being able to get up close to enemy, throw shots, and I believe even hang off the side of their horse, just hang by the mane, and do all kinds of crazy stunts. But yeah, so anyways, I'm just trying to kite these guys. Leopard warriors are down to 22, and if I can get rid of that, it means that there's not much else. He does have still one leopard warrior force, but that means all his guys are over here, and the right-hand side doesn't have much in terms of spear, only a single one. So I'm still sharking for opportunities. And these slingers somehow still alive. 56 kills on them for cheap troops. Pretty handy. And yeah, they're going to be targeting the backs of units, seeing what damage they can get done, and Indy would love to push forward, but I am just doing a slow and steady retreat. He really needs to get his Kushite archers massed and pushing up to rebuff my guys. Looks like they're going to be doing just that pretty soon here. Yeah, there you go. So they're going to knock some arrows and fire into my blob. Ooh. Sun. That was pretty devastating. Yeah, these guys pretty brave, standing strong right into this force. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and deploy a little bit closer with my elite corps that I've been waiting to engage with. So yeah, interspersed between the heavy noble spears and these legionnaires. Should be pretty good here with the desert cohort. And yeah, I'm trying to spot little opportunities. Did strike at some of these Kushite slave infantry with my Numidian cav. And then over here, just going to be trying to kite his forces, annoying his armored desert cav with these Numidians. Just being pesky little gnat, and then waiting to strike with these elephants for when the timer's right. 400 kills on these guys. Good God. So yeah, Indy lost a lot in this engagement. It could have been something that he should have taken maybe a little bit slower with some archer support. He could have definitely slaughtered those guys, make them first rampage, and then come in with the spears and finish them off. So a little bit sloppy in that engagement, and we'll see how what repercussion that has. But anyways, what you're noticing here is, yikes, I have a ton of infantry that are going to come in close with Indy's forces, and then on the flank, these units that were hidden to Indy are now going to deploy, and that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 full-strength Desert Legionnaires going to be pushing around the side. That is super scary, as well as the fact that I have 3 more. So that is 9 entire units that are going to come sweeping around Indy's flank here, just as I'm sucking him into the middle. I did pull up a little bit too far with my Numidian skirmishers. So here I'm going to pull them back. But man, his guys are taking so much damage from my precursor javelins. Yeah, and this little stagger deployment that I've got going on here is absolutely awesome. Yeah, so all down the line, he's facing heavy infantry. Not going to be much damage dealt here. You guys are pretty good. Shuttle warriors can do damage, but I'm handling them fairly well. And then over on the left flank, I let him kind of overlap me. Deployed some tribesmen just to hold, and then now I have pivoted around with my Numidian skirmishers to just make mincemeat of these disciples here. And yeah, meanwhile, here comes this massive flank with the 9 units coming around, redeploying on the side, overlooking this entire force here. So this is pretty scary stuff for any army of Kush to notice that they've been completely outmaneuvered. And here comes the cavalry circling around the back. And he does still have some of his own cavalry that can ward off my flank, but they've been, you know, distracted by these Numidians here. Let's see what he can get done with some of these heavy African war elephants. Looks like some of them are going to be going to push through this flank, where I've gotten some of my own elephants into the mix. But now he's going to come charging through. Luckily, this is where I have my skirmishers in the rear just for this type of situation. And they're going to be caused to rampage and go out of control. So that's going to negate that push. He's going to crash through with these disciples. It's a little bit scary for me, but going to keep those guys running amok, and I can commit these guys here while the rest of my infantry force just starts to envelop this Kushan army. And yeah, the ability to field this many heavy infantry is just a godsend for the armies of Masaesyli. Super powerful. In the back here, I'm just able to commit everywhere with my cavalry. Let's see, where are they? Oh, here they are. Not quite committed, but here they go. So we're going to be able to get in at these guys, get in at the cavalry. And yeah, let's watch this charge. Freaking brutal stuff. And here come even more. 3 entire units unengaged coming into the flank. Pretty awesome. So yeah, his elephants did have the potential to do a lot of damage against me. But one of the things you have to keep in mind is elephants are almost always going to last into the late game unless you're a bit foolish with them, as I was. So always keep some sort of option to deal with them in the late game. So here it was going to be these Numidian skirmishers. You'll notice I kept them in the back, and the second the initial engagement took place, pulled them back and just waited for the elephants to commit. He is doing a good job of pulling them into the mix, such that, you know, now that they're rampaging, they're just going to step on my guys, trample them, do lots of damage. And doing just that. One of them over 200, the other one closing in on 150. So, you know, they are recouping on, you know, some of the missed damage. And they're going to try and even the odds with my elephants. With one of them we saw got 400 kills. That was insane. Okay, he's pulling through. So he has shattered this pretty well. But over here, you know, his infantry is not long for this world. Armored Shoda War is doing pretty well. Oh, but they will be reinforced with these elephants. 256. And I do have some spearmen. Should be mixed in here. Yeah, and I can use, I can pop anti-cavalry tactics. That's going to be awesome. So you can see bonus versus large all the way topped off. So these elephants don't want to stay here. And that's why I had interspersed between all of my infantry these skirmish, these noble infantry. So that's going to mean that they're going to be doing a fair amount, but still dropping precipitously at the same time. So he's getting his vengeance, that's for sure. 428. Yep, he's even my guys. But here comes the encircling. Still some Kushite archers trying to fire their last couple volleys, but that's only going to draw the attention of my armored desert cavalry. Fighting amongst the corpses of the elephants. Pretty cool here. Yeah, another engagement with the Desert Legionnaires. Trading really well. And like I said, just looking aesthetically freaking awesome. Let's go back and watch the center. A lot of my guys have been killed. Yeah, this is a lot of my guys dead. Elephants strewn in the mix, so those elephants definitely did a number on me. Felt like I isolated his infantry and did a massive crush on them. That got a lot of kills, but these guys in a big blob don't have much to stop them. I'm going to try and toss in some infantry to tie them down, but my spears are the ones who are running out. I have 115 over here. These guys need to re-engage. With just a couple of guys piecemeal with no pillow left over. This is just going to be, you know, pain town for my guys over here. And yeah, he's got to keep him moving, make sure to pull through. And they're going to do so much damage. Oh, there you go. Battle rhythm popped up to 500. Yeah, these guys are total tanks. 320 on the other one. So I'm coming in with a healthy unit. Tired, but we should be able to do okay. Ooh, my general's dead. So that looks like I lost some of my Numidian princes, I guess, over here. Yeah, they're busy chasing down Kushite archers. Still doing good work. But I need to redeploy these cavalry against the elephants. Get some lances up in here. Units that can't be stomped on. It should hopefully be enough to take them out. We'll see. There you go. Now with the combined might of these lances, one by one the elephants should fall. So it was long enough for me to deal with this. A little bit clumsy on both of our parts dealing with the elephants. Took unnecessary losses, but still these guys are monsters. And there you go, the battle ends. So I think we were able to slay the general, perhaps at least get him to rout. But my god, that was the last unit standing. Oh, and there you go. Worthy victory for this guy. He's got a little goofy smile on his face. But yeah, he's posing for the picture here. A legionnaire in the desert amongst the elephants. That's a postcard to send home. But anyways, that's it for this battle. Hope you guys enjoyed a spotlight look at both of these desert kingdoms, and they do actually fare pretty well. Both have interesting army compositions, and I'm really digging Masaesyli here. Let's end the replay. Take a look at some of the stats on either side. So I had overall 700 more men than Indy. Yeah, Masaesyli can just bring so much value. You'll notice tons of these desert legionnaires and desert cohorts brought to the mix. Yeah, and even these tribal slingers did pretty well. I felt like I did a good job of engaging these Kushite archers piecemeal. These guys, Indy's archers should have traded more effectively against my skirmishers, but I was able to shut that down with the constant harassment of these Numidian cavalry around all the flanks. And yeah, the elephants on both sides against, not too many spears to counter them, 429 and 72, 407 and 593, so just brutal. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Disciples of Epidemic, might be seeing more of them in the future. And this engagement, they did do pretty well, so once they get in the mix with that fear, I'm sure people will be able to come up with some pretty cool builds using them. If you can protect them long enough to get in combat, it'll be pretty interesting. Would love to see some of these desert factions against some of the barbarians. That is an interesting mix. But anyways, that is it for this battle. Hope you guys enjoyed. Stay tuned for more. I'll be uploading more of these Desert Kingdom battles. I did a couple more with Indypride, some for fun, like massive fights versus the AI. So yeah, stay tuned for that. Let me know what you think of these factions and the gameplay. See you in the next one. Peace out.